2023 has been the best year on this channel since 2020. I can't believe I've been going for almost 4 years now, and I wanted to take a moment to look back on the year and show my appreciation to the old and new viewers who take the time to watch my videos. I think this year in particular has shown the channel truly becoming what I have wanted it to be since it started getting attention. While I absolutely appreciate the initial boom coming from Doom Eternal and first-person shooters, I'm incredibly happy to have been able to grow past it and diversify into multiple passions. My first true love, survival horror, took a prominent position this year, with videos on Tormented Souls and Amnesia the Bunker, as well as a couple well-performing videos on classic fixed-camera Resident Evil and cut content in the remakes. I was so happy to see the love shown to old-school survival horror in the comment sections. I was so inspired that I finally decided to talk about the original Silent Hill trilogy, games that are dear to me. It took me several years to figure out what I actually wanted to say about them, and I hope my personal approach led to an entertaining and unique viewing experience. I took my concerns over the Silent Hill 2 remake and topics brought up during my excellent talk with the amazing horror creator Tango Mushi and used it to talk at length about the story of Silent Hill 2, hopefully in a way that adds to the discussion in an interesting way. Then there's Resident Evil 4 remake and Dead Space remake, games that impressed me immensely, showing that old designs can easily be translated into modern day. Both games were great in terms of their gameplay, with RE4 Remake earning a spot in my top 5 Resident Evil games of all time. I enjoyed making videos on mods and strategy, and overall I'm just happy that Resident Evil and survival horror in general have become pillars of this channel. Oh, and I finally played Resident Evil 6, and that was something. The other big topic of the year was RoboCop, and man am I happy about that. My favorite movie since I was a child. My first RoboCop video from 2022 has gone on to become the #1 YouTube search result for RoboCop analysis, and the #4 result for RoboCop review. It was well known enough for one of the directors of the new RoboCop documentary, RoboDoc, to actually reach out to me on Twitter, and we set up an interview with him and his two partners, co-director and producer, for an hour-and-a-half long love fest over all things RoboCop. In anticipation of the surprisingly well-done RoboCop game, Rogue City, I produced videos on RoboCop 2 and 3, which were well received, and that inspired me to take on a crazy project, revisiting the 2001 sci-fi original series Prime Directives, a series I remembered being awful, but found a new appreciation for on a character level. And it's an honor to have been able to bring the story to a new generation of fans. And then, amazingly, I scored an interview with the co-writer of the series, talking for 3 hours about the creation and of course the problems surrounding the show, in a conversation he hadn't had with anyone in like 15 years. Showing him that there was a bunch of people who appreciate what they were going for, that was incredibly moving. I plan to do some more RoboCop stuff in 2024, so stay tuned. Of course, there were several shooters covered this year. Turbo Overkill and Deadlink both came out in the summer, and they are phenomenal achievements. Turbo for its ambitious campaign, Deadlink for its fine-tuned combat loop. 2 games I was able to work with the devs on to varying degrees, and both are huge points of pride for me. I also continued my relationship with publishers Focus and Fulcrum Entertainment for various sponsored video deals covering shooters that I legitimately found to be quite fun, and I'm happy to help them out with good press and critical word from time to time. 2023 was also the year of Mortal Kombat 1, and boy oh boy has that been a roller coaster. I'm not playing it much these days, mostly just watching the big tournaments, but when it was a hot topic, things were good. The beginner's guide was a pleasure to make, and it was fun to get back to some old school character strategy stuff like when my channel started back in 2011. I don't know if I'll be talking about MK1 anymore, but I'm glad for the good times it brought me, even if they were short-lived. I was happy to be able to talk at length about my personal history with Mortal Kombat, from childhood to now, in a video that unfortunately turned out to be my biggest disappointment of the year in terms of views. So please, check out that video if you missed it. I think it's really good. Maybe it's just a bad thumbnail, I don't know. And of course, there's the critical stuff. Some of it for games I don't really like at all, like Starfield and Redfall. Some for games I think are just okay, like Alan Wake 2. And some for games I definitely like, but think could be better, like Armored Core 6 and Trepang 2. And who can forget the god-awful Twisted Metal show? At least I got a fun video out of that. So yeah, this has been a really good year. I had my toes in a bunch of different pools. I got to talk to some amazing people. I hope you all enjoyed those interviews. I discovered some new titles. The year was so good, I'm bracing for inevitable disappointment next year. I want to thank all of you for hanging around as this channel continues to do its own thing. I do spend a lot of time here, 40 to 50 hours a week, so if you'd like to make that a little bit easier, for as low as $3 a month, you can join my Patreon, or you can check out the YouTube channel memberships. With your support, I'm able to continue these more niche projects that aren't concerned with views, like Mayo Movie Club and small strategy guides. You are all the best. I enjoy reading your comments and taking recommendations. I love sharing amazing things with you and finding them with you. And you've really made a difference in the last few years of my life. I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. See you in January for the best and worst of 2023 video.